how to make millions, like SCA.
How you're going to always find when price is going to reverse. Just track your highs and lows. So we're going to put this as our higher high. We see this is our higher low. So man, boom, higher low, and then price ends up breaking the higher low. So this is where we're going to figure out when the trend is reversing. Because remember, fundamentally, price is not going to break the basic, right? Once it breaks the basics, that's when you need to think in your head, okay, the trend is getting ready to reverse. So in this case, this is our first indication to let us know that the trend is going to reverse. We see that buyers are sitting in the markets at this level. Since buyers are sitting at that market, we can see that price ends up pushing up, creating a lower high. Why would this be considered a lower high sign? Obviously, because it's lower than the previous high, right? So if you start getting lower highs, what does that tell you? So we're going to put this lower high, boom, put that right there. So if we're getting lower highs, what starts to...
As you can see here, we have this new high. I'm gonna go ahead and remark these because this matters a lot. This one doesn't matter. Wait, let's just mark this one just for sake. We have a new high above this previous one. We also have a new high above this as well. So let's just say this one we focused on the most because I can see prices coming back down to retest, right? So this uptrend started after it broke out. This is the breakout. This is the indication. Excuse me. This is the indication that price wanted to continue higher. It was still making highs back above this level. So this was telling us back above this level of resistance, bulls are in control above here. So let's go ahead and continue to see where price is going to go, giving us a new high. So let's go back to the 1 hour. Price ends up giving us a high. Now I want you guys to understand, think of it as a high score. Let's say your high score is 52 and somebody comes in and gets a high score of 53. No matter that is 1 point, that is still a new high. So this is technically still a new high. Now with this being said, I want you guys to understand in ICC, it is also about indication and corrections and where the continuation is going to head, but it's also about who's in control of the markets, so that way you can be on the right team and the right trend. So look at it as a standpoint of this. When you mark up your chart, anywhere on the charts that you mark up, this is always going to apply. Buyers are most likely in control above an area. Sellers are in control most likely below it.
To get into trades and find reversals is basically the market structure itself. I think the biggest part is that people need to understand that bearish sentiments. So in this case, we're going to explain bearish sentiments. So basically what I mean is there's a support here. Buyers are sitting at this level, pushing price back up in a different direction. So anything under here is already letting me know that price is getting weak, right? But when you also tie in the previous movement, so like this lower high and then this lower high with this whole resistance level here. So we already have sellers right here at this level. Sellers come in here, push price down. Sellers come in. So that means sellers are moving in over here. This means that sellers are slowly creeping in. And then we also have a break of support. All this is selling momentum. Coming into New York session, so I'm gonna turn this on. Coming into New York session, look at it, right? And volume takes complete control. Even with the buys yesterday, you know, volume takes complete control of the markets. That's why I always tell you guys, when you trade in session, crazy things can happen. Like people was confused on why price was selling. Lower high, break of support, volume from New York session. So 930 came in. Did a little retest, sold off, right? You don't need anything complex to get into trades. All you need to do is find when the volume is going to happen. With gold, it can be London or it can be New York.
Because this high is lower than the previous one, right? Boom. So now we have this and this. Then you see price break out of that level where you see there are buyers here. So this level here had buyers here. Then you see price break under that level. This is signs that price is going bearish. So then you sell price from here to down here. Your stop loss will always go above the reaction. So wherever that lower high is, and price pushed up again, made another lower high, rejecting the upside, and then pushed down. So your stop loss will always go above the lower highs. So if you're in a sell, your stop loss goes above the lower highs. If you're in a buy, price will always, you will always put your stop loss under the higher low. So your stop loss will be here, your entry will be here. Right? So let's turn this green for you. Green, red. And that's how it's supposed to go. Right? So with that being said, don't make it super complicated. Keep it as simple as possible.